What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld. Today we're going to be talking about dynamic game day, the game day momentum factors, all that good stuff. And I started the video off with the title of Unpopular Opinion that this game day, the momentum factors will ruin Madden 22, because I've been getting a lot of that. Okay, I've been getting like, yo, listen, this is going to completely destroy the game, Gmia, because if you don't have the right home team, if you don't have the right away team and all that stuff that goes into it, it's going to destroy the game. Now, I can understand the way that you guys are being very, very pessimistic, because they haven't really done a lot as far as the development team, as far as gameplay, of making us feel comfortable with the decisions that they've made. So I understand it, but I want to talk to you about a couple things that is actually something that I feel will add a difference to the game, and depending on how they figure how they're going to do it in Madden Ultimate Team or competitive, that's up to them, but this is going to be something that's part of the game, right? So going forward, eventually it's going to be a part of what you do and how you game plan, and it's going to be something like with the abilities when you have certain things with like Homer and you get to activate your X Factor sooner and stuff like that. It's going to affect you in different ways based on what you know, right? So you're going to understand, like, okay, if I'm playing a guy at Lambeau Field, this is going to happen. If I'm playing a guy over here at Heinz Field, this is going to happen. And the M factors, or AKA momentum factors, are going to be very, very huge. So some of you guys were like, Gmi, can you explain some of the stuff that's going on? Well, pretty much what happens is this, right? In certain situations, you'll see that it'll unlock and you'll have it right there on your screen. You'll be able to see what's going on as you unlock different features. So it's not going to be something that's going to be hard to understand. It's just that you're going to be able to be, you're going to have to be more like engaged with what's actually going on the field in order to understand exactly what the M factors are doing. Because as I show you right here, the M factors that are available in each game will always vary based on where the game is played or what the elements are, so that each game will feel like a different experience. Now, for me personally, every game that I play with EA Sports is a different experience for me. You know what I'm saying? It's maximum rage, but it's a different experience. Now, as far as the next gen goes, I have not been raging the same exact way. I've lost a total of 6 games since I've started playing next gen. I've raged, but I'm not angry after the game with the outcome, because fluke is going to happen in the game, but it's not as prevalent, right? So when you add this into the game, you're going to know based on what team, where you are, and how everything is working out, what's going to work for you and what is going to work for the other team, okay? The way that these things are going to get unlocked is based on your in-game performance. That's actually cool. Let me give you guys an example, right? If I come out and I'm the home team, and one of my basis things is like I gain momentum with offensive plays, a certain successions of offensive plays, and I'm throwing dots and I'm throwing dots. That momentum actually carries in an actual game. We've seen it, right? It just depends on how it translates to the field. So with the way that it is, home field advantage and all these dynamic things that's going to be going on, and the fact that some of you guys are like, yo, you're not going to be able to hear, or the hot routes are going to change because you can't hear what's going on in certain aspects, and the way that you'll be able to see what's going on is going to be different, and like the ice and the kicker is going to be more difficult, the icons are going to go away. These are all things that happen in the game of real football, where you'll see a guy just go out and just shank a kick, and you're like, yo, this guy sucks. And it's like, all right, but what happened? The field, the noise, all the things that go on within the game, it definitely affects what happens, right? So for everybody that's thinking that's going to ruin the game, you got to understand, how can you make this benefit you? This is what I throw back at you guys. And this is why we're able to talk and we're understanding each other. And it's like, all right, I got this issue. Gmi, what do you think about this issue? The reason that we're able to do that is because you open up dialogue, right? I'm not going to just go and say like, yo, this is garbage. Let me give you an example, right? Target passing. What Madden was that? 17 or 18, whatever it was. That was hot trash. But we had to wait to see how it worked out. When they first introduced it, we thought it was going to be pretty decent. We thought we were going to get back shoulder throws. We thought it was going to be kind of, whatever. None of that happened. It was a completely wasted mechanic, right? So we realized like, yo, this was a waste of time. It's trash. And we didn't really use it. For those people that knew how to use it, like I labbed it a little bit and you could get a little bit of an advantage on certain throws, but it wasn't worth it. We have to wait to see how it plays out, right? There is craziness that goes on, right? So I want to go ahead and point this out. With different tuning sets for different modes, any game played in a neutral site environment will not be equipped with any home field advantage, since there is no home team. So when you're playing your Super Bowl in franchise or an MCS stadium or the competitive ladder, you won't have to contend with home field advantage M factor. Okay, so look, the MCS Stadium on the competitive ladder, it doesn't say anything about weekend league, it doesn't say anything about regular head-to-head stuff, right? So it's gonna be a part of what's going on. And I like the fact that it's not in competitive mode. We have to wait to see how it's gonna actually work out, but these are certain things that you're gonna have to understand. The momentum meter, that's gonna be a very, very important thing, because based on your on-field performance, it's gonna activate and deactivate your M factors by swinging the momentum. So look, let me give you an example, right? If you come out and you got like, you know, Deion Sanders and he's playing out of his mind and he's locking up, that meter is gonna swing in your favor. So there's a high chance that if they keep trying Deion, it's going for 6. If that's the way that they do it, or let's say for whatever reason, right? Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, they come out, they're throwing dots. The momentum goes, the momentum gains, and it's like craziness going on. Now the dude is throwing it, and dudes are just ready to go. You know, the stamina's increased, all the adrenaline is going. It can really be something unbelievable, but it can also be something disgusting. The reason that I don't think it's going to affect most of the guys that are watching this video right now is because we're MUT dudes, right? We're going to figure out what to equip. We're going to know what's going to benefit us. It's going to be a no-brainer. The people that play franchise, the people that play regular head-to-head, they're going to have major issues if this doesn't turn out to be what it's supposed to be. But I believe that, you know, my MUT users, and even with the video that I asked you guys, a lot of you guys like, yo, what are you, franchise? Are you MUT? What is it? Most of you were MUT. You were Madden Ultimate Team, right? A higher majority than I thought were franchise. So either way, you'll be able to understand and utilize it in your situation. Like, you're going to be able to go ahead and figure out what's going on as far as like a regular season game in franchise, but the Super Bowl will be on a neutral site, so it won't matter. Unless it turns out like with Tampa Bay, where they played it at home or something like that. That'll be kind of wild. But for the most part, you won't have to really deal with it, you know, on a regular where it really counts the most. But I got to tell you this, right? The dynamic game day and the game day atmosphere with the fans being involved and all that stuff, this is going to really, really change the way Madden is, because a lot of people that play the games or whatever they're doing, it doesn't affect the, like I just showed you guys before, it doesn't affect the ladder when you're doing a competitive ladder, so it won't matter whether you're at home or away and all that stuff like that. So get that out of your heads. It's when you're trying to go 25-0 in weekend league, if it's a part of weekend league or stuff like that. This is going to have effect on the outcomes of your games. Now, will it be overused? Will it be abused? We have to wait to see that. By playing away at a certain stadium, if you're going to fatigue faster than when you normally would, that's going to affect, obviously, how you run, how you throw a slant and go for 6. Remember, next-gen gameplay is completely different from current gen. Look, guys, I don't want to say I'm enjoying next-gen, but it's a lot more like enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot, like, I'm not saying I'm enjoying it, but it's a lot more enjoyable because you don't get the same foolishness. If you have a step, you're going for 6. Dudes can't catch you. You can get warp tackled when you're close enough, but once you get a step, they cannot catch you. If you pick up a fumble and you're out in front, you're not getting caught. You see gradually the acceleration. I think that that's a huge step in the right direction. I honestly believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really, really think that that's something that's absolutely hilarious. So people need to understand these things. This is not something that you could just, like, you know, throw under the rug or whatever. If you're going to be playing Madden and you're going to be playing head-to-head, you're going to be playing all these things with the home teams and all that stuff, you better understand what's going on. Now, one of the bigger things that I'm like, yo, what is EA doing? It's like, yo, you're going to be able to not know what play you're in if you're with, you know, New Orleans State Stadium, certain things, the play calls, all that stuff's going to be going crazy. You know, the game day atmosphere, it introduces similar environmental traits. You know, like, it's like, yo, it's too many things going on that you can't control. Denver with the high altitude, but guess what? You're going to have to learn to figure out how to use it, and I'm going to make sure that you guys understand. You guys are going to understand exactly what's going on, because once I see it and we have the game, I'm going to break it down for you. So you're not going to have no issues. You're going to know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You're going to know exactly what stadiums, what this, what that, and you're going to understand it. Now remember, if you're doing theme teams, which we're probably going to be doing the Niners anyway, because the Niners usually are the best team, we got to see how that works out. Maybe we go someplace else, but that's going to be, that doesn't have to be based on what I've been seeing. I don't know if you can use different visuals or what it's going to be, but we'll figure all of that stuff later. You know what I'm saying? Like, the crowd will be a factor in Madden NFL 22, in addition to all the other stuff that I just spoke about. So all of this momentum, it's real, guys. It's going to be a part of the game. I can understand that you think it's going to ruin it. Is there a chance that it'll ruin certain aspects of the game? Yes, but remember, we play on different game modes. So every game mode is going to have a different aspect of what it's doing to really cause an issue. And at the end of the day, I think it's going to be more simplistic to where everybody is going to know which one does the most, and most people are going to use those stadiums and those teams and those fans to get the best with the momentum. Other than that, we're going to utilize what we have as far as on the field gameplay, throwing dots, running the ball, getting the O-line motivated, stuff like that, to just be better at the game. And I think ultimately it may work out in our best interest once we understand and visually see it on the field. Hopefully that explains a lot of the question that you guys have been asking about gameplay momentum. Let me know what you're thinking. Are you excited about it? Do you think it's just a gimmick? Leave a comment. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love, y'all.